Hey, it's Micah from the Russell School of Ministry. I hear a lot these days about authenticity. Everybody wants to be authentic. People want to be authentic. Chicken sandwiches want to be authentic. Everything wants to be authentic, right? I don't know that I hear a lot about how to be authentic, right? We kind of know it when we see it, but I don't know if there's a lot of understanding of this is what it looks like to live an authentic life. So I want to lay out a framework for you. Maybe it'll be useful for you. It's been useful for me. And it's a pyramid of authenticity. This is what it looks like. So we're going to do one of these. That is more than I need. That's plenty of authenticity for our purposes, right? And so we're going to we're going to kind of make this pyramid here, and there's three layers to the pyramid. All right. Here's how it works. For authenticity, you need to start out by being truthful with everyone. Now, I used to say honest here. I would say I want you to be honest with everyone, right? I'm going to say honest with all. I've gone away from that over the last while because I really think that honesty is good, but truthfulness is better. It doesn't, the Bible doesn't say God is honest. It says he is truth, right? And you think, well, isn't that the same thing? It, it can be the same thing. It's similar. But you can be honest and just keep your mouth shut all the time, right? Honest just means you don't lie. You don't deceive. You don't actively tell somebody something that's wrong. That's good. You should do that. But kind of a higher bar to that is I'm going to be a truthful person, right? I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have allowed someone to think the wrong thing without actually necessarily saying it, right? You've misled with silence. I think a lot of us do that more than we would necessarily want to admit. And so I don't think that just being able to say I was honest in a court of law would say I didn't tell a lie. I don't think that's the highest calling for us in terms of honesty. Truthfulness is where I want to set the bar. So I can be truthful with everyone. I don't need to be have a certain group that I'm truthful with and a certain group that I'm not truthful with. That's like trademark unauthenticity. Uh, the foundation of authenticity is that I'm truthful with everyone, right? But then, in addition to being truthful with everyone, I can be transparent with some. Transparent with some. I don't need to be transparent with everyone, right? And you think, well, man, if you're going to be really authentic, you should just be really transparent all the time. Not everyone deserves or is trustworthy enough to know what's going on or even needs to know what's going on all the way inside you all the time, right? It's good to be truthful. Someone asks a question, answer it truthfully. But not everyone needs to be able to see all the way through everything that's going on in your life, right? And the last thing is I'm going to be vulnerable. Now this is where if I'd have done my homework, I'd have made that slightly bigger, right? It says, I don't know if you can tell that, it says vulnerable with a few. Vulnerable, transparent, and truthful are not all the same thing. I think a lot of people confuse vulnerability for authenticity. And it's a part of it, but it's not all of it. If you're vulnerable with everyone, you're just walking around with it's like you walk around with no skin, right? Any little thing can hurt you. There's a very few people that I really am going to be truly vulnerable with. You can't have nobody, but you need to make sure that the people inside that circle are kind of a circle of trust. Because if you walk around, I'll just tell you, the world is a cruel place. And if you walk around and you're just constantly vulnerable to everyone, and anything that anybody says can throw you off, then you're going to walk around bleeding most of the time, right? Now, I'm not saying, oh, put on all your armor and don't let anybody into the circle. That's not what I'm saying. You must have a circle with people in it that can poke you and you can say, ouch, that hurts, right? If you don't have some trusted people in your life, if you don't have some people that you can be vulnerable with, I don't think it's possible for you to live an authentic life. Somebody has got to be able to say to you, no, that's not going to work, right? Who are you vulnerable with? But it doesn't have to be everyone. Social media is real interesting because it enforces like this false sense of intimacy, right? Where I know exactly what's going on with all, 150 of my closest friends. And because of that intimacy, we're tempted to be really vulnerable. And there's a place for that. But if you're always walking around bleeding, it's just going to be hard for you to function, right? down that path lies nothing good. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the people around you. So this is a framework that I think is helpful. You can be truthful with everyone. No matter who you talk to, you can be truthful with them. You can be transparent with some, and you can be vulnerable with a few. I hope that's helpful. The pyramid of authenticity. Give it a try, see what you think, figure out who your authentic people are, who are your vulnerable people, who are your trustworthy people, who are your transparent people. Give it a thought and see what you come up with. Thanks, guys.